Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well, and yes, I do change clothes, but I've just filmed 3 intros for the next 3 up and coming videos. If anyone's curious why I seem to be in the same position and wearing the same hoodie, but there we go. So today's video is a very quick install or how-to on the Gravity R33 Gtst front mount intercooler. So we fitted this and didn't find much information on this particular intercooler. A lot on sort of the Blitz intercoolers for the 33 and other variants, but not much on Gravity. It is a slightly cheaper brand, but looking at the sort of images on the internet compared to, say, the Gtst, there doesn't look like there's much in it. So whether they're made in the same factory or not, I don't know. But it looks like a very similar intercooler kit to the Gtst one, but this was called a Gravity intercooler kit. So it's all installed to the car. Unfortunately, we stupidly decided to install this on probably one of the hottest days last year and nearly gave ourselves heat stroke in the process. So we did actually get around to filming it, but it is all installed. But I thought it may be some help to somebody if I just go over how we've gone about installing it, especially sort of to the bash bar, as the bolts on the intercooler are on each end, where some of the more expensive kits, I know it's sort of a single bolt in the center that hooks up to where the horn is, where this one doesn't. So I'm just going to quickly step out the car, go to the front of the car, and then explain sort of everything that we got with the kit and then how we've installed it. The kit has been running on the car for I don't know, a few months now, which is a major hint that the car is actually road legal now and back on the road, which is a massive success. And it's been probably 2.5 years in the process of the car, so it has been a massive jump forward to now. But it is actually road legal, which I've kept quiet. So the car's been running since I don't know, about October time last year, and it's done a few trips. It's been to Cafe on the Machine once. For anyone in the UK that knows what that is, you'll know. But yeah, it's been on the road and it's been completely, touch wood, completely fine so far, which is amazing, as it's all down to myself and obviously the massive support from my dad and my brother working on this. But it's all been done ourselves and it's ran flawlessly so far, and like I say, touch wood, it carries on. So we know the intercooler keeps working. There doesn't seem to be any sort of leaks anywhere or what have you coming from it. All the couplers seem very tight, and there is a bit of installation work to be done, but it does seem to go on fairly well, and there was no major issues. There was a bit of cutting, unfortunately, to the new front bumper that I bought, but I can show you that and where we've had to cut for that piece. But yeah, I've just noticed the intro is starting to run slightly long, so thank you for bearing with me, guys. But stay tuned and I'll get outside to the front of the car and quickly go over how we've installed this Gravity intercooler kit. Right guys, so let's get started. So we'll go from top to bottom. So this is going to be your original coupler, and then your normal pipe work feeds off and then goes into that empty hole which is there, and then your other pipe that goes into your original intercooler is this one here, which is still keep, and I've still used the original hose and then original pipe work. But you will, that's the one you'll lose, as well as your side mount intercooler, which is a little bit tricky but not that difficult to undo. Unfortunately, as I've not recorded it, I can't remember exactly the size of bolts, but there's a bracket that you have to undo, and then your hose, and then that will pretty much take your intercooler off, and then that's pretty much that sorted for you then. And then there's not much you have to do this side then. Pipe work goes into there, and there's no adjustments I had to do running this bumper. There is a bit of cutting that you have to do this side to get the hose to clear and get the bumper to fit nicely, but I'll show you that again in a minute. So your new piece of pipe work will connect into your original coupler, then your vacuum line, which then connects where the original line went to, and then from there, now this hose I've not put a coupler on, but it is pretty tight, so I don't think that's coming off. It's been on for a few months now and it's not blown off. So then original pipe here. Now one thing I will have to say, I don't know if it's the same with the Gtst, but this gravity kit, I've had to trim the corners off my fan because they were fouling. So if you can see, sort of fouling on the pipe work, just making sure there wasn't, when it first started, it's just a bit of plastic that's caught on the pipe. But I have had to trim every single fan, just using a bit of a Dremel and just taking, I don't know which way is the best way to show you that, but yeah, just a bit off each corner. But that was pretty easy to do. And then coming round to here, this is where your intercooler pipe mounts onto here. So these have to come off with these points. Undo these, lift these up, then slide this bit on, then these rebolt on top of the intercooler. Then it runs down to here where your normal washer bottle is. I can't remember, but I don't think you'll get away with running your stock water bottle, so you will have to do sort of an aftermarket job on that. And then for the hole we used a 4.5 inch sort of disc cutter on a drill, and then cut the hole into the side, and then use some rubber trim to go around the edge to protect the metal and the pipe work to make sure it didn't cut into the car. And then that feeds then down here and we'll come through there, if you can see, we'll come through to here and then into the intercooler, which I'm hoping, I don't know if you can see the coupler which mounts down here, mounted all completely fine, and then used the coupler and the clamps that came with the kit and bolted them up, which was completely fine. And equally, can we zoom in there? Down there as well. So as you can see, clamp to the intercooler and then clamp to the original pipe work, and that pipe work feeds round here and then goes into your original pipe work. And then for mounting, like I said in the introduction, this black bit of metal here is your bash bar that's mounted to the front of your car, and then what we've done is drilled a hole into the bash bar, and then these brackets come with the kit, so we bolt it to the top there and then ran the bracket to the intercooler that side, and then done the exact same this side as well. So I think you can see that other nut if I can get the phone in there. So drilled into the bash bar, nut and bolt, and then run the bracket to the intercooler and bolt it up that end. And in all fairness, that is pretty stable in how it's ran. I do intend maybe to run a bracket on the bottom, but that's how it's bolted at the moment. But it was a bit tricky to drill into that bash bar, I'm not going to lie. So if you've got a heavy duty drill, that's probably the best, and a decent carbide drill bit maybe. But apart from that, that's sort of a quick overview of the installation. Obviously this was an aftermarket wash bottle that we used, which I think was bought off Amazon or eBay, and then just made sort of an L-shaped bracket. And then I managed, as I don't run, I've got a deleted rear wiper, I used the original bracket connector even from the original washer bottle, and it actually plugged in with a little bit of fettling, I think, to the new connector of the washer bottle, which is nice and easy to do. But as I said, the only bit I had to trim, which is a fair bit, on the bumper was down here on the driver's side. So all we kept doing was offering the bumper up, seeing where it hit, take a bit more off, and then did that gradually until the bumper fitted nicely. But yeah guys, apart from that, that's how it fits, and it fits up the gap nicely on the front bumper. And if anyone is running a bumper like this, One of the issues I did have, whilst it's nice and secure across the top, there was a fair bit of flex in the bottom, but the bumper does seem to sit nicely against the bottom of the intercooler as well, which just gives it a bit of extra support, so win-win. The only thing I did have to move, tell a lie, is you'll see that we've done a bracket off here to the horns, as the horns usually sit on this bit here. Yep, that bit there. So we moved the horns off here and then mounted them to a bracket here, and then they still work, but it just gives you the clearance for the intercooler to fit. But apart from that, I didn't have to trim anything else of the bumper bar that bit there by the indicator light. I'm just trying to think if I've covered everything. I think that's it though, so hopefully that's it, and hopefully that helps somebody. So let's just do one quick overview again. So you're going to have to remove your original pipe work first. Then this is your first piece. So there's 3 pieces of pipe work that come in total. There's this piece with your vacuum line to go into here. That runs there, and then as we've mentioned, bolts into here. Then that runs down into this coupler that comes with your kit. Then 4.5 inch hole into the sort of wheel well area. This is your second pipe then that connects to here, feeds round, and then we'll connect in to your intercooler down there using the hose and clamps that come with the kit. Then, as we mentioned, your brackets and where we've drilled those. Then your third hose connects to this end of the intercooler, and then we'll connect into here, as you've just seen from that bit in the passenger wheel well, and then you'll connect that from underneath and then use your original pipe work, and then that's it, guys. So I hope that helps somebody out. I know it's a quick video and not really sort of a time lapse, and that actually in the process of doing it, but the car has ran and there is no issues, so I do hope that's helped somebody out. Fingers crossed anyway. But thanks for watching this one, guys. I don't know what's coming up next, but again, appreciate all the support recently and the nice comments. If you haven't subscribed, then maybe consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.